Warning. The thoughts and views and opinions of guests and hosts are just thoughts and views and opinions of an entertainment podcast. Not to be taken serious or to heart, only for granted like my previous lovers. I am not a professional, I just play one on the show. So please enjoy, or not. I do not control you no matter how cool I sound. Enjoy. Deuces.
Welcome.
No special characters.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Carried away with the sniper rifle.
That's a huge red flag. First of all, don't walk past me, stare me up and down, and then go commit a crime, right? That hurts my feelings. I don't think so. What time is it? Oh, it's business time. It's business o'clock. Let's fucking go. Welcome back, beautiful people, to another episode of No Special Characters. I am your host, Jose Luis, aka
On my cool J.
aka here's a new one.
Go back to your 9 to 5, bitch ass nigga.
aka Mr. Big. That's what they know me as. That's what they know me as. And you are tuning in to the show of.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
That's us. That's us.
You're
That's
listening
us.
to
Special characters.
And
This is culturally inappropriate.
yes, it is.
You're not getting it. It's not clocking to you.
I know a gentleman that's going to be a big part of an upcoming.
Here I come. Oh, here I come.
I can't help it that I'm custom made.
You have an emergency contact? On my cool J.
Hey. Hopefully you guys are doing good coming off your Memorial Day weekend. I am in the middle of the Memorial Day weekend, so if you hear a lot of cheering and screaming in the background, that is the guest in the house. So I'm recording late in the afternoon, and I just wanted to make sure I get this episode out so you guys can enjoy this show during your barbecue and ruin everybody's vibe. So, hey, can we get an air horn for that one? So hopefully you guys are doing good out there, doing great out there, and you guys are continuing moving on. So where do I want to start? Actually, this work recap is kind of all in the same day for me, and it's all work related. And I feel like this portion has just become all work related. And in the last episode, I mentioned that, hey, we're starting a new program at my job, and everybody is kind of like scared of what's going on. People are scared of change. The old people are terrified. This is ageism, and all these things is going on. So it's like, okay. So I'm in the driver's seat right now, and the generation that I happen to be born in, I'm in the middle of the old generation, which I'm taught in, and I'm part of the new generation, which I'm taught in. So I'm a millennial. Just found that out recently, and I was like, okay, do I care what it means? No, not at all. It doesn't define me, but it's just very like, okay. Now, we have new teachers in this stratosphere of education, and it is quite interesting because I was taught by the boomers. That's the generation, or I don't what would the generation before me be? I forget. But I was taught by that generation how to maneuver, and then I'm learning with the newer generation, the Gen Zers. And they are so different than my generation. Before, everybody said my generation was the worst. The millennials are the worst. They felt so entitled. They felt this, they felt that. And I was like, oh, okay. And I did see some of those theories come to life when it came to people of my generation. So I was like, oh, okay. But now I'm noticing Gen Z in the teaching seat. And they do not teach like teachers. They teach like you're wasting their time. And it's pretty interesting because, like I said, I'm in the mix with everybody right now. I got the boomers before me, or Generation Y or Generation Z, whatever that. No, not Gen Z's the new one. Generation X, right? Would it be Generation X? Probably Generation X. And then here comes the millennials, and then here comes Gen Z. And we're all in this gigantic melting pot, and we're all are disliking the hell out of each other. So I was just in the meeting, and I had to teach a whole network full of people what my job is. So Gen Z doesn't know what my job is. And they was like, all right, this sounds outdated. You're absolutely right. So I'm here to learn your technique. So I had about like 3 days to learn this technique, and I got it like that. I was like, all right, this isn't going to be hard at all. And now I'm in this teaching space, and I'm teaching a whole network. Let's just say if we're talking about New York City in general, I'm teaching the 5 boroughs and I'm teaching all of Nassau and I'm teaching all of Suffolk how to maneuver through this program. So the Gen Z was like, all right, so what you want to do is like do this and and then do it like that. And you should be fine. All right. No questions, no questions, no questions. And it's like, oh, that sounds terrible, but whatever. I already grasped it. I'm like, okay. I'm like the Gen X whisperer at this point, or the boomer whisperer. So now told that I could take control of the class. Like, oh, you can run the class now. Okay. So I run through it. I was like, all right, so what we're going to do is this. We're going to do 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 that. All right, we're going to run the play like this. And if the play doesn't fall along this line, then it should run this way along the line. Cool. Right? What I was not expecting was like, well, I got it. I got a standing chair and ovation. It was like, thank you for breaking it down. Oh my God. I was not getting what was going on. And I'm like, that's enough of that. So it was just so funny. So before the Gen Zer was teaching, and then my homegirl went, and she's kind of Gen Z-ish. So I was like, okay. And like, she was upset because the first Gen Z person taught it and the second Gen Z person taught it. And here comes my millennial ass that's supposed to be outdated. And I'm teaching everybody how to run it. And she comes to me after the meeting. She's like, yo, what the hell was that? I was like, what do you mean? She was like, they started clapping for you after you did your presentation. Is it because they know you? I was like, nah, I don't know everybody in the network, but they started clapping for you. Like what I was saying didn't make any sense. I was like, well, it kind of seemed like you were rushing it and that you were seemed bothered teaching it. And she's like, well, I have anxiety. I have anxiety too. I was like, but I'm not going to let that cripple me from doing this presentation and not getting the word out to everybody that needs it, because everybody relies on this position that we're teaching them. And she was like, well, I was just thrown on the spot. I was just thrown on the spot. I was like, all the excuses you're making, I have the same excuses too that I can make. I just chose not to do it. So she was like, all right, whatever. So it was just so funny because during this whole presentation that I'm supposed to be learning from this younger generation, I didn't get to fully invest in the learning because I had to help an older person out with setting up the program to see how it runs. So I was able to freestyle this whole thing while this Gen Z person is teaching the whole class. And then by the time I got back to my desk, all right, what can I learn as much as I can from this point? They were like, all right, well, it's your time to teach the class. And I was like, great. I missed the whole beginning of everything. But yeah, it was just interesting seeing all 3 different generations in the same room. And we're just like, I don't want to be here. Others are like, I don't want to learn this. And I was like, I don't care for this. So it was very entertaining. It was just 3 different people just going like, I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know what to do with this. What do you want me to do with this? But I will say, I do feel bad for the older people that were there because they genuinely seemed concerned. Like the person I was helping was an elderly person. I'm not no disrespect, but she was kind of up there in age. And I'm like, all right, what do you want me to do? She was like, everything that he's doing. Well, I don't know what he's doing because I'm here talking to you. And she was like, but figure it out. I was like, all right, okay, cool, whatever. That's what it is. It's the older generation goes, okay, figure it out. And then my generation is kind of like, all right, I'll figure it out. And then Gen Z is kind of like, all right, I'm going to figure it out, but I don't want to figure it out for you. So it's just very entertaining seeing that all in live and in person. And they'd be like, okay, I see what's going on here, but we could do better than this. All right, so we're just going to improve and just move forward the way we're supposed to move. Yeah, so it just led down to a very important moment that some people in my generation, the millennials, seem to not grasp sometimes. And then Gen Z, which is, there's just certain jobs that you have to care that you're doing. Like I have a job that helps people. If I'm not knowledgeable with my information or I can't get you the help, then it hurts people that actually need me to help them. And I know this is like, whoa, like this is an entertainment podcast, but it was just like very entertaining seeing, all right, I come from the, I don't give a fuck generation, but their generation seems like they just genuinely don't care. So it was like, And I'm watching the end of another generation because they're getting close to that age, that cut point where it's like, all right, pretty sure your generation is going to start getting clipped out of here. So I was like, all right, whatever. But yeah, it all brought me back to this conversation of COVID. And my building used to be packed with so many people before COVID, and then COVID happened. So I have a 6th floor building that I stay in. Boom, packed every day. More than like, let's say like 4,000 people in the building. Let's just say that, right? It dropped down during COVID. It dropped down to 50. Then in the middle of COVID, it dropped down to 25. So this old building that we used to have to ourselves is now starting to slowly fill up with people. And it's like, okay, I'm cool with it. But it just reminded me of the old days. And everything ties in, don't worry. Back in the day, because it was so packed, you would just meet so many walks of life, different people. And I think that's the disconnect between millennials, Gen Zs, and Generation X/boomers, right? That's the difference. It's just like before we were all together, then everybody separated, everybody started working from home, everybody disconnected. So I'm starting to see that things are starting to come back from COVID. And it's like, oh, we're kind of getting to that sort of normalcy of being around each other again. So the only reason I bring this up is because the other day I was walking into my job, the morning of that meeting thing, right? And as I'm walking into the building, I actually had to dress nice because I'm going to do a whole presentation in front of a whole company of people. And it's very rare that I wear like really dress appropriate clothes. I'm always in a t-shirt or a hoodie. You guys can say whatever you want. That's not professional. That's fine, but I can still help you to get exactly what you need. So I'm walking into my building and this warmth came over my body. I felt a smile in my soul because of what I saw. I saw true beauty in its finest. And we're like, oh, you guys are going to be like,
Oh boy, over the top.
but I'm not.
How outre.
What I saw wasn't a person, but a flock of women, older women, divorcees, however you want to say it. They came back and they did not come to play. These hoochies were out like back in the day with the little short shorts. We're not even supposed to wear short shorts, tiny skirts. What? Shooters are gonna shoot. All right, that shit sounds like the front of the White House. But it was like, damn, I miss these days. And then everybody started talking. The legends started going around. The rumors started circulating again. Oh, I got accused of something wild this week. So, like I said, it's starting to go back to normalcy, right? People are showing up. The office, I've been saying it for years. The office has been filled with a bunch of infidelity. So there's a lot of cheating going on, and there's a lot of fucking going on. But it was all to a certain discretion. Now, what's going on is that we're over here in this workspace with these new people, and people just thought like, oh my God, everybody's going to be shy. Everybody's going to be nervous. No. So I just left the bathroom, and this girl saw me walking out. Okay. She was like, hey, what's up? I'm like, hey, what's up? And she was like, I don't know you from around here. I was like, cause I don't work on this floor, but whatever. Nice to meet you. Hopefully to see you around. Got it. Cool. Exchange pleasantries. That's how you test the water. Like, oh, hey, I'm kind of interested. Hey, what's up? How you doing? No. Right? Cool. Now I get back to my floor, and on my floor, I started adjusting my pants because they were sagging a little. I don't like to be the guy that shows up to the job with his pants sagging. So this girl goes, Jose. I was like, what's up? Did you just come back from the bathroom? I was like, yeah, what's up? Was that you? Was that me? What? Are you trying to say you heard me like shitting or something? Like, what are you trying to say right now? So she's like, no. Was that you in the bathroom just now? I was like, you're getting kind of personal right now. I don't know what you want from this conversation. Were you fucking in the bathroom or not? I was like, whoa. You are not throwing out these accusations for me, all right? I know I seem cool and all.
You know the fucking vibes.
I know I got charisma, personality. I can make girls laugh and all that shit.
Embustera.
I'm not. But I was like, you think I would be in the bathroom smashing somebody in the handicap stall when there's plenty of rooms here to use? I'm like, really? I was like, you must not know the legend of me. But she was like, nah, somebody was getting clapped out in the bathroom. I was like, oh, just like the good old days. That's what we used to do back in the days. And then I remember she wasn't from the good old days. She was like, what do you mean? I was like, back in the day, horny pantses were walking around and they would just let it just back of the staircase, in the staircase. The elevator back in the day didn't have cameras. So you would just hit the emergency stop, bam, 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 keep it moving. Take it to the cafeteria, bam, 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 bam. Not good for the food out there, but bam, 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 bam. Everywhere that you could go, the copy room, this room, other rooms, the meeting room, the board room, the CEO's room, because they're never there. You would just go to all these places, get it in, and just go leave. All right. So I was like, oh, the old days are back. So she was laughing. She was like, no, you're lying. I was like, yo, back in my day, you would go pop something in the parking lot. In the back of this building, take them there, pop it, go back to work. All right. Let the husband pick her up, or the girl or the wife pick up the husband, however that works. All right. It was just, that's the way an office used to be. And I remember when I used to mention it before on the show when we had co-hosts and stuff like that. They'd be like, no, it's not like that. I'm like, yes, it is like that. If you're in a place where all you do is spend 8 to 10 hours with people, you're gonna build relationships with people. You're gonna see certain people that you would never talk to. You would be like, nah, I would never give them the time of day. And then you'll get to know him and be like, all right, I'm gonna give him the time of day. Because I've benefited from that so many times. Like, oh my God, he's just short. And I'm like, I'm about to drop this long in your guts. But yeah, it's like, okay. It was very like, that's the sun is setting. It's about that time. But it was like, never thought those days would come back like that. Never thought. At least not so quickly. It's only been 3 weeks. I was like, damn, they're already fucking in the bathroom in 3 weeks. That's crazy. I was like, that girl did not give him no tests. She was like, I like you, blah, blah, blah. But that's when I mentioned like 2-3 episodes ago when I was in the elevator with that lady and she was like, hey, you want something to eat? She was not talking about any baked goods or anything that she cooked at home. She was clearly insinuating something else. And I was like, this is wild for you to say. I'm going to get off on this floor. Please don't follow me. So, yeah. It was it's almost like the old times are back here again. That's right. I'm putting back the Ho and Jose this summer. Okay. Let's see where we got next on the docket. All right, same day. It was an interesting day. So at the end of my day, I'm leaving the building. And with my colleagues, all of us are like 8 deep. And we're leaving, and I was in the closest part to the door in the elevator. And upon leaving, doors close behind me, and my book bag gets caught on the elevator doors. So I'm like, okay, I know the way elevator doors work. So I'm like, it's caught on the elevator door, not the main door that connects to the door outside. So there's no final destination thing happening. But everybody's assuming that I'm about to get picked up from the floor and I'm going to get dragged up and I'm going to get decapitated, cut in half. Something's going to happen to me terrible. Right? This is what they're thinking. They're freaking out like, oh my God, your book bag. And I work with, out of the 8, there's only 2 men. So it's me and my boy, we're in the elevator. And me and him are like, all right, he's like, just don't move. And I was like, I know. But the girls are yanking on me, they're pulling on me, they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, relax. This isn't what you think is going to happen. Like, my book bag, I don't have such a gigantic book bag that is caught on both ends of the door and I'm going to go for a trip. Or I'm not that feeble-minded to be like, oh my God, I'm getting dragged up and I can't connect and I can't disconnect myself from my book bag. Oh my God, I can't unhook my arm so I can't cut myself out of my book bag. It was just all this scenarios going on in their heads and I'm like, no, I'm fine. But because they yanked me, the thing that got caught on the doors of my book bag was my plushie, my Fuggler. And he got crushed a little, but he's fine. And I'm like, okay. But it was just very like, oh my God, movie cinema has really changed the way people view things in life. So it's that, the elevator is when you see a wooden truck on the highway, or like if you see a pool drain and like people are just freaked the hell out, like, oh my God, you can't let that happen. So it was like, oh, oh, oh. You know what's crazy? This conversation happened 3 weeks ago when I was talking to my homegirl Bugs, and Bugs a couple of months ago, maybe a year ago, there was a man that died the same way somebody died in Final Destination, the last one, with the radiator. I think I spoke about it on this show where this man, we were trying to figure out what made him go into the room with the gigantic MRI machine, which has a gigantic magnet on it. So we were all very confused. I was talking to Boogie, and then she mentioned, because we mentioned Final Destination like 3 weeks ago, and she was like, "You know that story about the guy?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "That's my uncle." I was like, "Wait, what?" She was like, "Yeah, we knew him. Da 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 da. It's crazy. They're trying to figure out how they could sue." And I was like, "I don't know if they could sue because it was such a weird situation." So in the movie, this happens in the hospital. In this one, this happens in a radiology place. So it really should have been somebody to have been like, "Yo, you can't, to get to the MRI machine, you have to pass 3 checkpoints. And they just can't allow you to come in." Like, yo. So apparently he had like a gigantic bicycle lock and a chain on him because he used to ride his bike a lot. And I was like, wow. So I'm not gonna get too much into her story, but it just felt relevant. That I was like, damn, full circle there. From well, how many episodes ago was that I talked about that movie? So I was like, whoa, okay. I wasn't supposed to talk about that, but it was like, wow, it just went hand in hand. You know, things just land on your lap, like a woman going through a divorce on the 5th floor. But yeah, it was just very like, okay. But I think I'm gonna move out of this section and I'm gonna go to the next section. And what would that be? Oh yeah, the movie review section.
Oh boy, over the top. How outre.
Wait, before I go there, Final Destination, I just saw one of my things. Did you see the girl that got flown away? All right, so there was a storm a couple of days ago, right? There was a storm, a really bad one, and I feel like this young lady should sue the city because of the way that a bus driver parked the thing. But I would have never got off the bus. So, all right, so the bus driver parked the bus kind of off from the curve, and there was a gigantic amount of water going in towards the drain, right? So instead of going to the front of the bus, I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that jump. She decided to do a jump in the back of the bus. And I guess she must have under assumed that this water that's ripping down the street was strong enough to take her. But Shorty jumped, was walking, and then boom, the water took her away. That's Final Destination shit. That's some wild, like, whoa. So somebody was like, yo, she almost went down into the sewer drain. And if it was a bigger person, I'd have been like, nah, no way. But she was a little thing. I was like, nah, she actually probably could have went into the sewer drain. And it is strong enough. This gigantic force and downpour is happening where it was like, whoa, that was really strong current. So I'm like, who can I sue? Who can I sue for this? For the bus driver parking it that far? For somebody, I don't know. Yeah, it's the bus driver. You're not the bus driver, but the MTA itself, for them to have better use of their equipment, be more knowledgeable that something like that could harm somebody. Because what if she went under the bus? That's another thing. And they didn't know. And it was one of those long buses, those 2 buses that are attached. And the bus driver just drove. Like, it would have been crazy, son. It would have been wild. Yeah. That's Final Destination stuff right there. Not me getting caught in the elevator. But yeah. Now moving on to the movie review section.
Oh boy, over the top. How outre.
I don't know if I spoke about this movie, but if I did, I apologize. But I just saw this movie again, and not again. I think I didn't speak about this movie only because I've never finished it. And the movie I'm going to talk about is Fast and the Furious 10 or Fast X. And we're like, which one is that one? Is that the one where they go to space? No, that was Fast 9. So Fast X is with Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa is in every movie right now. He has to like relax before we start kind of looking at him like Nicolas Cage. Oh, Noir just drops tomorrow or today. This was Sunday. So Noir drops. I can't wait to watch that. Nicolas Cage of Spider-Man, got to watch that. But Jason Momoa actually did a good job in this Fast and the Furious villain column. All right, all the villains of Fast and the Furious have been like, all right, oh my god, the bad guy. I feel like for this character that Jason Momoa did, he gave us a little bit of Joker, and it actually kind of fit. He's a big ass robot. That's a big ass Joker. That's a big ass clown. But he gave us something as this gigantic, goofy dude that, as funny as he was a killer and a threat. And somebody being that big and being a killer, and big dudes are killers. Like The Rock in that movie, killer. Jack Reacher, I don't know his real name, killer. Even, what's his name? Jason Statham, killer. He's not that big, but he's a killer. That's what it is. The conversation is John Cena. John Cena is a killer in this movie, but they're all very serious, tough guy, like tough guy-ish. It was like, all right, cool. They just recently gave Cena in this movie, like, all right, we're going to give him a little bit more lighthearted. He's nice. But when he did his movie, he was very serious. He was very tactical. He was like, I'm going to kill motherfuckers. That's it. So Jason Momoa was like, hey, oh my God, guess what? You're dead. It was very funny, and I liked it. I don't know why I like my killers with some comedy to him, but it just makes sense because real life killers are funny. So I hear. But real life killers are actually fucking funny. Not serial killers. Serial killers are weird. I'm talking about people that, all right, man, if I got to take your life, I'm going to take your life. I'm not going to want to do it, but you're kind of forcing me to do it. They be funny sometimes. I know allegedly a couple of them. So to see a character on the big screen and he's like, oh my God. Like the Joker was good, funny, but still serious. But this dude, he was just having a blast. And it was like, all right, I could get behind this character, even though the whole movie is atrocious. It is cheesy. It is everything that's wrong with the movie now is in this movie. It's like that one scene. There's this one scene, like, I have to be with him. He needs me now. Letty's in jail. I have to be with him now because without me, he can't focus and he can't get the job done. Meanwhile, Dom just killed a shitload of people and accomplished mad things already. She's like, but he needs me. No, I think he's fine. I think he's fine. Yeah, I think you're not needed. So they were very heavy on this is family. And I'm like, okay. But it also makes me wonder, if Paul Walker never died, how would they kill him off? Because whatever they do, whenever they kill people off on this series, they come back to life. So I'm watching this and it's like, okay, first they kill off Letty in Fast 4, I believe. Or is it 3? No, Fast 5, they kill Letty off. Whatever. There was a lot of fasts, all right? They kill Letty, she comes back. They kill Han, he comes back. They kill Gal Gadot, she just came back. They replaced John Cena with Gal Gadot. And it's like, how are you going to say that she's alive and that she never contacted Homeboy and that she never showed love? And it was like, all right, Han died in a car explosion. No, he didn't. He was able to get out. Now he works with such and such and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So it's like, they never let people just stay dead in this series, except for the ones that are, sadly to say, actually dead. So I was always wondering, how would they kill him off and then bring him back? Because they probably would have been a car accident too, or they kidnapped him or something. So I'm wondering if they're going to bring back Dom's baby mama, or if they're going to bring back John Cena, because in spoiler alert, they kill him in this one. So I'm like, all right, cool. And even you had to give him like a little like, nah, he'll still kill you, but he's cool as hell. I like that guy. So it was like, all right. But watching this movie, I was like, not the worst story. It was just a lot of cheesy bits. Like there's scenes in it that was like, I'm going to take my car, shoot it across off a building, hit the crane, force it to down spiral and hit this thing and let this bomb go off in the water. That's not going to do that much damage. It did that much damage. It did a lot of damage, but it would have been more. I think it would have been the same amount. You just have less fire. Like all the shockwave fucked everything up. So I was like, okay. And then they had Tej and Roman fighting on some brotherly shit. It was like, oh my God, but I do love you. You are a leader. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like we don't need any of this. And then for some reason, Jason Statham comes back and he's like, I have to go protect my mother. And I'm like, then why were we introduced to you? And like, I'm not getting it. So it was like, all right, whatever. But I kind of want to see the last one, the final ride, as they would say, and what they're gonna do then, because I think there was a huge fallout between him, Vin Diesel, and The Rock, which led to like delays in production for the last one because they were beefing because he recorded Hobbs and Shaw, and it was like, all right, but Hobbs and Shaw introduces a new element, which is superhumans and another criminal organization. So it's like, all right, but this franchise can't complain because they were just in space. I'm like, I don't know what's like what do you want to be more realistic here? So it's just funny. It's like you can't do that because we're over here being unrealistic over here. So it was just like, you guys are just doing too much. But at the end of the movie, they go and bring out fucking The Rock again, and he shows up. He shows up at the end, and he's doing a tactical siege, and he was like, "Oh my God, you're the person I want to talk to." And The Rock looks at the camera, all sweaty, all bald headed. He's like, "Well, come get me, you son of a bitch." Not son of a bitch, you son of a bitch. So I was like, huh. That's your post-credit scene. Got it. Okay. Like, oh my God. I don't think nobody was even looking for The Rock. It's like, oh my God, The Rock is there. Now he's involved. Like, nobody gave a shit. We just wanted to see what this guy's gonna do with the God's Eye that they introduced 3 Fast and the Furious ago. And that light-skinned girl is still a baddie. Letty, I don't know. I think she's getting older. She's not my cup of coffee right now. But all right. That's the end of that section. See, short and sweet. Some of you guys been like, oh my God, you just drag it out. Nah, this one was actually pretty much face value of what you were going to go see. Like, oh my God, they're going to race cars. They're going to go do this. They're going to do that. That other girl from Suicide Squad, she's a baddie. She's good to look at, but that accent annoys the fuck out of me. Sometimes I wish it was me that died instead of my sister. Nobody knew who the fuck you were. But all right, moving on. We're going to go to...
You're listening to...
All right. So the most newest thing that I got, this is right fresh, hot off the presses. So on where are we? Yeah, we're in May 23rd, right? On May 23rd, that was yesterday, which is a Saturday for me. At night, there was a fight in Las Vegas for the Adin Ross event. And we got to see Super Hot Fire versus Ray J. Who the hell set that up, right? So we got to see these two men fight for 2 rounds. And in the first round, it looked like Super Hot Fire was losing it. And then in the second round, he got his breath and he knocked out Ray J. And the crowd went normal. It wasn't like, oh my God, it's Super Hot Fire versus Ray J. That could have went anywhere. It could have went anywhere. Ray J could have got a lucky hit off. He could have got a lucky hit off. At the end of the day, somebody got a lucky hit off, right? So it was just jokes because the antics before it was, I think Super Hot Fire pulled up with a Kim Kardashian shirt, and then dude was tight about it, and I was like, all right, whatever. And so it led to this fight, and there's cards are saying that Ray J was winning the first one. So I was like, all right, okay. And then we get to the second round, and then Super gets off a clean shot. It was such a clean shot that in the post interview in the ring, you see that goddamn speed knot on his head, and it's the size of a tennis ball. And Ray J is tight. He's like, what happened? What's going on? And this is the part that we can't seem to figure to understand. But both of these good men are streamers, and what they do know how to do is capitalize on a situation. Now, whether it's true or not, we will never know because Ray J is known as a notorious liar. But at the post interview, the guy who's recording it, he was tight because I hear Ray J talking. And Ray just like, yo, that's not what we rehearsed. That's not what we talked about. This didn't go as planned. You messed up the plan. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And the ring announcer's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He was like, nah, there was no plan. You just lost. So people were trying to figure out like, wait, was this fixed? Or is he just talking out the side of his mouth? And the sad thing is, we're never going to know. We're never going to know. But let me see if I got the audio for it. Let's see if I got the audio for it.
Yo, I thought we had a plan. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to get nobody in trouble. But damn, my nigga. We took a L tonight.
We
didn't take shit. Your ass was over here.
I got to talk to the nigga about...
Y'all talk backstage. Super.
Money we lost.
you was gonna win. So how y'all lost money?
Wow.
That's pretty fucking funny. To be like, hey man, we worked something out completely different. That's like the wrestling match that we were growing up watching, and you see Stone Cold Stunner the Undertaker, and the Undertaker gets up like he's okay. He's like, wait, that's not what we practice. What are you doing? So that's basically what it seems like, and it's beautiful if he capitalizes off of it off after this loss, because he could be like, nah, that thing was fixed, blah, 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 blah. It's sanctioned, but it's not a real sanction. So who's gonna really look into it that much? And it's an accusation that I don't know if they could seek legal action against him about. Because he could say, like, yo, I just literally got knocked out. I was not focused. I was not thinking correctly. There's so many things going on right now. I think I have a concussion. I might have CTE. So, and then he's saying that he has a health risk that he's dealing with. So I'm like, but you shouldn't have been fighting. So we're all looking at him like, why are you fighting if you have this wrong with you? But yeah, I don't know what we were expecting off of this conversation, but it's pretty interesting, and I do want to watch where this goes from here. Because if it is scripted, it's like, all right, you guys either robbed Ray J out of some money, and he really assumed that he was supposed to like either win or take a dive at another part so he could hit money off his parlay, or Ray J just put out a lie that's so believable that we was like, wait, was this scripted? And now we're looking at Super Hot Fire's win, like it doesn't count as a win. So it's a beautiful, messed up play. Beautiful on his end, messed up for who's Super Hot Fire. And then we're looking at the event like, well, if this was scripted, what else was scripted? This could damage it a lot. So you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it fully, they're probably going to sue the hell out of Ray J, all right? They're going to make him wish he had another wish. If he could do one more wish and never say that he said that at all. Because I think the attorneys are about to be out and they're about to go after him heavy. So yeah, that's now that I'm thinking about it on the full spectrum activated. But now that I'm thinking about it like that, it's like, wait, I think he might mess himself up legally from that standpoint. But he could also throw it on like, yeah, I just had a fight. I had a concussion. I don't know what I was saying. I don't know what I was thinking. And he might be able to get out of it that way. But I don't know. That's going to be very like, whoa, hello.
Good morning.
Hey, Maya. All right. Let's see what else. If I had one wish, da, 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 do, 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 do. If I had one wish. All right. Speaking of wishing, people are still out here in the streets wishing they had a Swatch. I'm here to report on the Swatch aftermath. Do, 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 do. So we listened to this about a week ago. About a week ago. Ding, 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 ding. Dun, 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 dun. All right, my bad. So the release of Swatch came out about a week ago, and people went crazy. People act like they didn't know what they were doing. People were going absolutely nuts for a watch that they can absolutely not style. They don't know what to do with it. But even at the Roosevelt Field Mall that I was at the day before the drop, it was already kind of crazy in there. I mentioned it already. Consumerism, it was annoying, very annoying, very annoying, very annoying. So the day before, remember I told you the lady, she was like, oh my God, do you think I could spend the night in the parking lot? No, you couldn't. They were arresting people that night for trespassing. They like, you cannot spend the night in the parking lot so you can wait for this watch. You're going to have to get back here at 7 o'clock in the morning. All right, cool. People got there. What they were expecting was a little amount of people. Boy, oh boy, were they wrong, because everybody in Long Island and Queens showed up. And then this parking lot was packed like crazy for people trying to get a watch. So people were trying to get into the door. They never mentioned how many were in the store. They can't tell people how many are in the store. So let's say 600, 700 people showed up for probably 50 to 100 watches, right? We can even say 300 watches. Let's say 500 watches. 700 people show up. There's 500 people there. People are trying to get to the door. People are fighting. People want the watch. They're going crazy. And for whatever reason, Nassau PD started pepper spraying everybody. At first, we get videos of it because I was supposed to be there too, but I ended up going to work. So I was like, okay. And I'm watching a video, and there's one officer pepper spraying the whole crowd. Boy, oh boy, was he wrong, because the wind was going in his direction. So he ended up pepper spraying himself, the people around them, and all that. Then more footage comes out. And everybody that's wearing a Nassau PD badge as pepper spraying the crowd. And then they saw the cameras and they were putting their pepper sprays away. So I was like, what caused them to pull out their pepper spray and start pepper spraying everybody? It was just like complete aftermath. So it got so bad in Roosevelt Field Mall that when you went to go look for the Swatch location on their general website, it showed that Roosevelt Field Mall didn't exist no more. That the store in the city didn't exist no more. They shut it down. They closed the Swatch stores down all over a lot of places in the world. They said it was going crazy in Mumbai, Japan. Well, not Japan really. They seemed like they were still in line. Milan, every place that you could get a Swatch, they said it was overfilled with people trying to get it. And as I mentioned in the last episode, they are not a limited item. Just like this watch, this Omega Swatch is on my wrist. They went crazy for it too. People were doing these lines. People were getting hurt. All these things. I think somebody might have died at one point, if I'm remembering correctly, or it could have been something else. But they went crazy. They went crazy for it. And people were like, well, at one point you have to blame the company. No, you don't. You don't have to run to go get this store. You don't have to run down to the store to get this watch. You don't have to do a lot of things. What is the purpose of this watch? Do you even have use for this watch? It's a pocket watch. Are you really going to take time out of your day to remember that you have to wind the watch twice a day for it to work? So it's like you just want this because of FOMO. You don't want it because, oh my God, you're such a fan of Swatch. If you're really a fan of Swatch, you would have got all the other cool watches that they got there. The moon phases, the earth phases, all these cool watches that are there that nobody wanted. The one with the metal links, those look fire too. It's like, no, you just want this because of the name and the AP name. And then because it wasn't a limited drop and everybody was pretending not to hear that part, people bought the watches and flipped them. So this is the good, the bad, the ugly. The good is, all right, the company made a lot of money. Somebody that got the watch made off good. The bad is people upmarked it by a lot when they got it in their hands, which is like, all right, who was that bad for? Us, the retailers, right? So people were going out of their way to sell this watch for $25,000 to $3,000, $4,000, right? I seen a guy sell 6 swatches to a guy for $2,000 a piece. Are you fucking smoking crack? That's $12,000 for fucking plastic watches. Something that's not going to retain or hold value. I hope the guy that got the $12,000 goes to Rolex or he goes somewhere to buy a watch that holds value and then he could sell it. But other than that, that guy made off beautifully. The ugly was all you idiots that bought it for that high ass price are now stuck with a watch that you could get next week for $450. You took such a loss. You took such a hit. Some of you guys probably borrowed money. Some of you guys are going to end up in the river if you borrowed money. Some of you guys took business loans, any kind of loan, just to get those. Put it on your credit card thinking that you're going to get all that money back. And you didn't. On top of that, the other crazy thing is, am I stepping on my toes here? Let me see. China dropped their version of swatches that we were looking at, the AI ones. They dropped those watches. Now, they don't say Swatch AP, so they're not collaborating with the brand, but they had the same style that we actually wanted. So they're dropping these watches for not a crazy amount of money, and you can still get a watch that looks like an AP, but isn't an AP. Kind of like these watches that people are going crazy with, which is like, all right, this is AP, but it's not the AP. It's so many groups under. So it's like, so what would be the difference? I seen them on Canal Street the day of that they dropped. So it's like, you guys, just like the toilet paper again, went crazy, went out of your way to go get this. And it's like, wow. So this watch that I have on my wrist cost about $285, right? When it came out, it cost $270. That was in 2022. They went crazy for a $270 watch. All right, $285. All right, you do the math for how much you want to buy. It's not a crazy amount. There's not a huge return investment. A lot of people just went crazy for no reason, the same way they're going crazy for these pocket watches. And it's like, okay, I guess it's good motivation to get to the hustle so you could buy the watch, so you could flip it. But if you're the person that bought the flip watch, you are so cooked right now. Unless you found another idiot that would buy it for a little bit more than what you got it for, so you just don't break even. If you could pray to God that you can break even, 9 times out of 10, those people are at a complete loss. A complete loss. And as these watches are going to get outshined again when those China clones go into full effect. Now, a lot of people don't even know that these watches have been cloned to make to look like that, right? And shout out to the companies that were smart enough to make mods for the watch. Not knowing, smart enough to think of it, but not knowing that, hey, when you buy this watch, it's 100% non-serviceable, which means if something breaks and it's under warranty, they might replace it, they might not. There's nothing internally in the watch that they can fix, all right? So once it breaks, it breaks. You have to go buy a whole nother new watch. If you're not getting what I'm saying to you, you cannot take this watch apart. It's all one. If I wanted to mod the watch that's on my wrist right now, I would literally have to cut it in half with a saw just to get to the guts. So I was like, all right, cool. But yeah, people just went out of their way to go get this watch. Even to this day, I was just at the watch store the other day because I bought a band for this watch that I got on my wrist. And it's a little bit too big. So I'm in the store. This is a week later from the aftermath. A week later from the aftermath, maybe 2 weeks from the aftermath. And people are still in there like, oh man, those are the APs? Oh my God, do you guys have any? Do you guys know when you're getting them? How many come that day? How many can I buy? I'm like, they can't tell you this, and you should know this information by now. And every idiot in there was just like pretending to look at other watches, but they really wanted to talk about the AP. So I was like, I'm here for a band. I'm here for my Speedmaster band. I would like to see the different sizes. And there's like, oh, you're actually here for something else other than the AP? Yeah, I'm actually here to spend money. So it was just too funny. I was like, okay. But yeah, that was the aftermath of Swatch. Seeing a bunch of people just go crazy, the upselling in the market, and then people getting caught at the bubble when it popped. It was like, whoa. Speaking of pop, do these go together? Probably not, but that's what the White House has been sounding like lately. I think for the last 2 weeks, there's been a shooting in front of the White House. And it's like, it's just bringing so much attention to the way I'm thinking, because I'm trying to figure out when was the last presidential sitting that involved this many presidential attacks or White House attacks. This is starting to feel like I'm in the third world. This is starting to feel like we're in Mexico. You only see this in movies where like they're in Mexico, they're trying to overthrow the government. In Colombia, they're trying to overthrow the government. And here, they're trying to overthrow the government. And it's like, all right, okay. This is starting to feel like, I feel like we're going down this route. And so all these things are transpiring. All this news is going on in the world. And I'm going to try to look for the clip about the information about the shooter. So let's see. A 21-year-old man identified as Nasir Best was killed after opening fire near a White House security checkpoint in Washington, D.C. Authorities said Best believed he was Jesus Christ and had a history of erratic behavior and prior encounters with law enforcement near the White House. So he's been there before. He's done this before. Okay. A shooting happened near 17th Street on Pennsylvania Avenue while President Trump was inside the White House. Secret Service agents returned fire after the suspect allegedly pulled a weapon from a bag and started shooting. A bystander was also injured during the exchange. That means I feel like they shot a bystander because they would have been like, the shooter shot a bystander, right? Officials said the White House was briefly locked down as federal investigators respond to the scene. Reports say that the suspect previously violated a stay-away order and had made delusional religious claims during earlier incidents. So he should have been watched from the beginning. Like, they have all those cameras there that's like, all right, something's happening. All right, so let's see. Let's see if I can get some audio from the shooting. They are mag dumping out.
Today, but this obviously comes.
So this news responder named Julie Cherskin, she was doing a report and they started shooting, right? This is my problem with this. This is the fourth reporter that I've seen that was by the White House and they're shooting and they have no goddamn common sense to look for cover, look for safety, look for something. They're just, what is that? What is that? They're looking around. What is that? Should we go over there and see what that is? Or you could get out the way, look for cover, do all these things. But I'm a reporter. We have to figure out what's going on. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go watch this movie called Civil War. And you see a reporter at the end of it die trying to do their job. So I was like, all right. So all these things is happening. And I saw a report of the same shooting. One of the reporters go, well, they told us to come here and stay here for lockdown. And it was the most, she did that while it was happening live. She tweeted, they told us to go here. All right. If you're dealing with a cell of people, let's just not say one. Like say this, take this situation off the board and say it was like a group of people, right? And they're watching everything. And they got like sleeper agents. Let's say they brought 10 people, right? And they got sleeper agents. One's watching social media, one's watching this, one's hearing the reports, one's doing this, one's doing that, one's doing that, right? And you're over here tweeting, we're inside the news briefing building where they told us all to stay there if you're a reporter. So every reporter in this one building, and you compromise putting that information out there for likes on Twitter or X or whatever it's called. That's the problem I have with today's society. Because they just don't seem to grasp that, hey, that's a dumbass thing to put out there, especially while you're still in the shit. So it's like, okay. The way I would have beat her ass, like, yo, did you just tweet this? Like, are you crazy, bitch? But yeah. So it got me thinking, like, all right, when's the last time, like, stuff like this has happened? So I had to Google it, and I was like, all right, so in American history, for sitting presidents were fatally shot and killed Abraham Lincoln, James A. Garfield, and William McKinley, and JFK, of course, including other several commanders in chief that survived being shot and wounded during assassinations. So I was like, all right, this is not the first time this has been a president and an attempt on a president's life. Clearly, we know that because we know the famous ones. So then I was like, all right. So I started looking at Andrew Jackson. In 1835, an unemployed house painter named Richard Lawrence fired 2 pistols at Jackson at the step of the U.S. Capitol. Miraculously, both pistols misfired and Jackson was unharmed. That's just bad luck. Then we got Abraham Lincoln. Then we have William Howard Taft. In 1909, while traveling in a car in Chicago, Taft and Mexican President Porfirio Diaz were targeted in an undercover plot by an anarchist named Julio Lopez. Though the plot was foiled before shots were fired. All right. Then we got Theodore Roosevelt. He was shot in the chest. Oh, whoa. While campaigning to return to presidency, Roosevelt was shot in the chest in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Thanks to a thick 50-page speech and his eyeglasses case, the bullet was slowed down astonishingly, and they were given up to 90. He astonishingly went on to give on a 90-minute speech before seeking medical help. I mean, that shit barely touched him. Then you got Franklin D. Roosevelt. First inaugural president-elect Roosevelt was shot at by Giuseppe Zangara in Miami, Florida. Roosevelt escaped unharmed, but Chicago Mayor Anton Cermak was fatally struck by one of the stray bullets. Got it. Then you got Harry S. Truman. Puerto Rican nationalists attempted to storm Blair House, where Truman was staying while the White House was renovated, resulting in a shootout that left one assailant and the other police officer dead. Truman was inside but unharmed. Okay, then we got JFK. Then we got Richard Nixon, Tricky Dick, as they would like to call him. Samuel Bick hatched a plot to hijack an airplane and crash it into the White House in an attempt to assassinate Nixon. The plans were thwarted by airport security and police before the plane could take off. I don't like the way that last sentence read. Then we got Gerald Ford was a target of 2 separate female would-be assassins. Oh, he got the lit one. In California in September 1975, both attempts failed. One weapon misfired. In the second incident, a Secret Service agent intervened before a shot could be fired. Then we got Ronald Reagan. Just months into his first term, Reagan was shot in the chest. Jesus Christ. by John Hinckley Jr. outside of the Washington Hilton in Washington, D.C. Reagan became the first serving U.S. president to survive his gunshot. All right. Then they tried Bill Clinton. I didn't even know they tried Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton's from my time. Francisco Martin Duran fired multiple shots from a semi-automatic rifle at the White House while Clinton was on the South Lawn. No one was injured, and Duran was subdued by bystanders. Okay. Then you got George Bush. George Bush in 2005, somebody threw a grenade at him. And it just goes up. Barack Obama. Oscar Ramiro Ortega Hernandez. That's a lot of names. Fired several shots into the White House using a semi-automatic rifle while Obama and the First Lady were away. Bullets struck the residence, but no one was injured. Okay. And then you have Donald Trump when he got shot in the air. I bring this all up to be like, all right, he's not the first president to get shot. Clearly, there's been other presidents that had to deal with that. My whole thing is that I feel with him, he's the first one that there's actually genuinely multiple attempts. And I don't know, people, whether it's real or not, we will never know. But we have to take into consideration, like, yo, they're really trying to get this dude out the paint. They're trying to get him out of here. And it's just such a crazy way to be like, just to think about it. Because the left is blaming the right and the right's blaming the left. And everybody's just like, oh my God, we need to figure out what we're doing. So, yeah. And then I was like, how many times have people been... Then I did another Google search and I was like, all right, how many times has the White House just been shot at? And it was like, all right, they're all in the things that I just explained. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times. So unless you're talking about the war. But it was just like, I just had to like do that little look into it. I was like, all right, because this guy clearly, they knew about him. And they were like, oh, there he goes again. Like, oh my God, there he goes again. That's Nasir being crazy again. And I was like, all right, you guys should have did a way better job of keeping him away. But I guess there's like yellow tape that I wouldn't know about. But that was like wild to me. I'm like, yo, how much people have to come to the realization that, damn, y'all don't really like him. People don't really like him, bro. Like I guess you would be like, the people that don't like the people actually succeeded. You got me there, right? Because we named a couple of presidents that didn't make it, but yeah, it's just a lot to take in, And I wasn't joking when I made that joke. I'm like, yo, did you hear the way that gunshot sounded? It did sound like we were in a different country. It did sound like, hey, that's not in my America. They're shooting at the White House or into the White House. I'm like, that's crazy. And I'm pretty sure all those gunshots were from them. They were all from them. My problem is with their security protocol is that when they start shooting, it doesn't seem like it's ever targeted at one person. I feel like they just all shoot in the same direction. So, yeah, I'm really interested to find out about the bystander. Like, who shot the bystander? Because they didn't say, like, I feel like if he shot the bystander, if Nasir shot the bystander, then it would be like, Nasir shot a bystander. But I think it was one of them. So, it was like, innocent bystander was shot. Nah, you guys would have put the blame on him. And he got this guy. So, yeah. Can't wait to go into work tomorrow. Because we never play Guess What Race It Is. So I can be like, oh my God, can you want to guess the color of the shooter? Like, no, I don't want to play this game because you already know the color of the shooter. That's the best one. But a lot of Spanish people were on that list too. That was very interesting too. But I also mentioned that a lot of the places that shoot at their presidents come from those areas. So, yeah. All right. I think I'm going to get out of this section and we're going to go to...
Wait, Jose! Jose, I got to tell you something!
What you got to tell me, my friend? All right. Somebody wants me to talk about the Him Project, a.k.a. Drake, which is, I don't know the name of that one, Iceman, I don't name of the other one. There's 3 albums, right? And I will say this very loud and clear. Still didn't listen to it. I want to take it in without being biased, right? Pause. I want to judge this music, but everybody's on the internet talking about it. They're either they're highly praising it or they're highly kicking his back in. So I don't want to be tainted with any information that's going to make me look at this project a little bit different. So far, as the songs, I'm hearing the songs that they're claiming are the ones. They're not the ones to me. They tricked me with a timestamp. It wasn't a timestamp, it was another song. I don't remember the name of the song. But that beat selection didn't sound the best. But like I said, I didn't listen to the album. And then it's just all of these things surrounding it just makes me not even want to listen to the album. But I do have to listen to the album because I do like Drake's music. Now, if you follow me on social media, I've been making fun of the albums, and that's cool, but I have yet to listen to the albums because I dead ass want to just listen to it with a clean slate. I don't want somebody giving me their opinions of what they think of the album. I don't want to go walking away with the same opinion that somebody else gave me. I want to come to my own opinion at my own. But what I'm hearing so far is 7 songs out of 43 songs are good. And then I got the Drake stance telling me the whole albums are good. Once they said all 3 albums are good, I knew they were lying to me because that's 3 whole projects of just different things. They all can't be good. Something has to be a section that you don't like. All 3 albums can't be catered to us, right? It has to be, all right, I want to get this group of people over here. I want to get this group of people over here. It all can't be catered to us. So I was like, all right, cool. But no, I did not listen to it, and I'm still gonna give it some time. I don't know what you guys want me to talk about, to be honest. It's like a lot of you guys are going on your platform saying, boy, if you chose Kendrick during the battle, then you shouldn't listen to the Drake album. You can't come over here and enjoy the vibes. And it's like, yes, I can. The battle was good. He asked for this battle. I'm just saying, but what I'm hearing on this album is you could talk shit about the battle, but you got to stop popping off. Like you could go back into this battle. You gotta stop popping off. That's the same thing we told Jermaine. I was like, hey, Jermaine, you could rap about whatever you want to rap about, but I never want to hear when you go in the booth like, I'll murder anybody, I'll do any of this, I don't want to hear it, bro. So when it comes to this battle, I'm like, I don't want to hear like, oh man, I would have body Kendrick if, and you know, this and that, if. And it's like, I don't want to hear it, bro. I don't want to hear it. I want to hear good popping vibes. And then the internet's internet, and they're making fun of your albums, and it's like, yo, that's kind of been Drake's strategy when it comes to his music. He looks for memeable things to be mentioned with, to become of, to be a part of. Like I've mentioned it before, like Hotline Bling, great song. He made a lot of memeable moments, and that kept the song going for so long. So I was like, okay, but I got his first week numbers back, and they look pretty good. I was actually shy of 10,000 points. So when I first gave like the review of like what would Iceman be, I was like, how are they going to judge these albums? Are they going to be judged all together, or are they going to combine all album sales for one? So I got that in front of me, and I actually broke it up. Thank God. So Iceman sold 460,000 units. That's 12,000 pure sales, 460 million streams. That's amazing. All right, Habibti sold 114,000 units. Not bad. Maid of Honor sold 109 units. Okay, that's 680,000 units across all 3 albums. That's amazing. You want to know why that's amazing? Because this is an album that doesn't have UMG behind it. There's no real push. This is Drake's stardom. This is what we've been talking about. So I'm not getting that. He's not noticing that he's a person that he's exactly who he says it is. It's just every now and then he looks corny. We've been saying that for years. I'm like, yo, you don't have to do this persona. So 680,000 for all 3 albums. Amazing. Amazing. By yourself. Amazing. As your own. This probably would have been more if he was still with UMG, if we let him do anything with UMG. But then that's more money out of his pocket. All right, okay. 460,000 units for Iceman is amazing. I had him at 450. At first, I think I might have said 350, but 450 to 500 is right. That's Drake numbers. That's absolutely right. Which goes to prove in his best favor is that he does not need the industry to push a button for him because he can hit these numbers by himself. What he didn't need to do was send out those 2 other albums that were very mediocre. And as I said, I didn't listen to it yet. But those numbers reflect that shit is mediocre. If Drake were to drop 109,000 units for Iceman, we would have clowned him to oblivion. We would have fucking laughed in his face so fucking hard. Which goes to show, hey, you do need the industry to help you. But no, 460,000, everybody has to shut the fuck up. Everybody has to shut the fuck up. I'll shut the fuck up. 460,000 is amazing for doing it on your own. It's amazing. Now, I see people going like, well, he had stream farms. Even if he did, there still wasn't a push of a label that probably would have bought him stream farms. So, unless he got to connect when he did, and that's still, all right, whatever. But it was just very interesting to see these numbers come back. What I don't like is all the glazing that they're doing. Drake has, out of the top 50, Drake has 43 songs on the top billboards. He dropped 3 albums. They're going to be there. They're going to be there. Depending on the time. Those 43 songs on the billboard, all right, cool. That's what you guys are saying. At what time did you go see him? Was that at like 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, where they're all trending right there? And then it goes back to the other people? So it's like, okay. Like the top 5, 4 songs belong to Drake. 1 song belongs to Kendrick. The song that belongs to Kendrick is talking about Drake. So 5 songs belong to Drake. It's like, y'all got to learn how to separate the beef from the music. That's all it is. That's all it is, man. When I'm hearing people go back and forth over the beef, and it's like, all right, cool. And it's that not acknowledging of things. Kendrick is a great listener. Kendrick is a great lyricist. Kendrick was a great planner. He was a great coach. He out-strategized him in his battle. That's what I'm looking at, all right? I would never be like, oh my God, I hate Drake's music, blah, 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 blah. I don't. I love some of his earlier work. I don't like the new work. That's all I've been saying. The new work doesn't have that many songs for me to be like, all right, this is a great album. This is a good album. Last good album was Views. Views is the last good album to me. You're like, wait, what about this? What about that? It's Views. Scorpion, maybe 4 songs on it, but Views is the last one for me. So I was like, okay. Now, fast forward to today. All right, you guys knocked off Nokia. Got it. Great. What are these new songs that are at the top of the charts that I'm not listening to? I follow a lot of girls. They're playing Drake music, but they're not the new songs or the old songs. So it's like, all right, okay. Seems like you're in the same boat as I am. But yeah, people wanted me to come here and be like, oh my God, I'm going to go and be biased. No, why would I be biased? Why would I be biased? Now I'm waiting to see what Kendrick does. What is Kendrick's next move? But the thing is, it won't be an album. Kendrick doesn't drop albums like that. So what would be his next project for us to be paying attention to? He doesn't really have to, because as I mentioned, that's never been his forte, so why start now? So I was like, okay. So, yeah. And for the people that are talking about the battle, like, oh my God, you didn't like this, you didn't like that. Yes, I already said it. They didn't like push-ups. I didn't like the Snoop blend. They didn't like it. The only good song he had in that battle was Family Ties. That's about it. I just like Family Ties from him. Family Ties was an amazing song that he wrote. And it would have been better if he just focused on Kendrick instead of adding everybody to it. Family Ties would have had way more of a hit if it was all 100% directed at Kendrick. Will he still have avoided some of the sting from Not Like Us? Probably not. That was coming. That was a tidal wave. That was his own play, which is, I'm going to drop back to back and get you out of here. That's amazing strategy. Like, all right, I already know what you're going to do. I already know how to run the ball. So I'm going to just do it to you and see how you can handle this coming towards you. And if you can't, good luck. But yeah, it was like, okay. It was just everybody just talking. Like, you can't listen to Kendrick no more. Da-da-da-da-da. And then I saw, oh my God, Maul. You can't hide your bias from us, buddy. Just like Ish can't hide his bias from us either. He's like, oh, I don't listen to Drake music. You shut your ass up. It's undeniable. The bias is undeniable. You can't be like, I never heard a Drake song in my life. Yes, you have. He's been in mad movies. They play his music at the stores, the clubs, the NBA. They play his music at Walmart. They play his music at Target. You can't say you never heard a Drake song in your life. You guys are lying. And then Maul. I saw you at the premiere at Drake's. Drake was in front of you. And you just going, yeah. And this is going to seem very toxic. But it didn't sound like you were cheering for your boy. It sounded like you was cheering for your man. And that's the most craziest thing for me. Like, oh my God, that's my boo. Let's go. So, yeah. There's a bunch of work like that going on. I was like, all right, you can't tell me you're not biased if you're over there cheering like that in front of that man. But okay. But friendships is friendships. Would I cheer for my friend like that? I don't know. I'd be like, hey, buddy, you got it. I think I might stop there. Not a woo. You got it, boo. So, yeah. Do I got the audio for that? I'm gonna play it for you. I think me playing the audio justifies, so it doesn't come off like it's hate. I think I found it. That's nasty work, bro. There was nobody else cheering. That's crazy, son. And then you can't come into your show and be like, whoa, I'm not biased. I'm just letting you know what it is. That's really hella biased, bro. And I'm a huge fan of you, so I'm gonna just chill there. But it was like, wow, that was a lot. That was a lot. And like you've been on like the Drake train, so I was like, we know that I've been watching you in your early career, bro. I seen when you first came onto the scene, and huge fan. Respect the work, but you've always had this stance for Drake. And that just solidified it. He was like, no, I'm taking Drake's side because people are being mean to him. Da, 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 da. And then that footage comes out that you released yourself. And you were like, yeah. The whole room was quiet. Drizzy turned around like, who the fuck is cheering for me like that? That's wild, bro. That's wild. But much respect to you. It was just funny. I have to talk about it. You put it out there for us to talk about. Gotta talk about it. I know people get mad, like, oh, why are you talking about these things? Because you guys put it out into the world for me to talk to. You guys can't get mad. You guys can't get mad at that. Just like when I put things out into the world, go ahead, run back whatever audio I said. Run it back. I'm totally okay with that. Can I defend it? Yes? No? Okay. What do you want me to do? But yeah, that was nasty work. Real nasty work. He was back there. He was back there. You was in the back of the party watching the fireworks go on, Drake music on the back. You saw your man turn around, his eye twinkled, and you was like,
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. All right, let's see what else I got on my topics. I have a homegirl that's a stud. Okay. And she gets mad when we go out and we split the bill. Why? She feels that I should be paying, but I'm like, ma'am, you think you're one of us. Only on occasion do men cover the bill in group outings. The majority of the time, it's split. Is she trying to reverse me? It's pretty fucking funny. All right, so that's mad funny. All right, so you have a friend that's a stud and she wants to be treated like a lady, but she wants to act like a dude. You are absolutely right. You tell her to pull out her plastic. And I don't mean the one she uses at night. I'm talking about to go pay the bill. That's what I need her to do, all right? She just can't be out here trying to fucking Uno reverse it every chance she gets. Like, oh no, I'm a lady now. All right, now I'm back to being a dude. I'm the dude playing another dude. So yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that, all right? So you are absolutely right. Every now and then when guys go out, some guys find it a little bit intimidating or disrespectful if you pay for the whole thing yourself, all right? Unless they're mooches, and the mooch won't care. Mooch will be like, oh no, you got it. Oh my God, thank you. Bless you from the bottom of my heart. But I know sometimes when we go out, I'll be like, nah, I got it. I'll be like, no, I got it. No, I got it. It just turns into this machismo shit. I was like, just pay the fucking bill. So splitting, thank God for splitting, because that just came out of nowhere. It depends. I guess it also depends on where we're at. Where are we going? If we're at a nice ass spot, me and you chilling, cool. Not a date, me and you just chilling. You're the homie, right? And I don't view it that way because that would be tendencies of I don't know if I used that correctly, but we're gonna roll with it anyway. But yeah, it's like no. If you guys want to run the I pay, you pay, that's cool, as long as you guys keep track. But 9 times out of 10, that bill's getting split. Now, depending on the person that you're with, this goes for men and ladies. Are they penny pinchers? Are they gonna leave a good tip? These are also other important factors. But she's probably not gonna leave a tip if she's looking at you like, hey, you should pay the bill. And I just noticed I'm using she. I apologize, good sir. I apologize. Hey there, buddy. Can't ask another man if you're going to be part of this culture that, hey, man, you should probably pay for me too. No. No, 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 no. It's gonna sound a little bit crazy, but I only pay for a box that doesn't have an out of order sign in front of them. Okay, that's all I'm saying. So it's like okay. Also, piping a stud. I mean, young May gets a pass. But piping a stud can't be fun. It can't be audioly fun. Like, yeah, give that to me. Yes, take it, take it, take it. like, whoa, are you a demon? Like, yo, do transsexual people do that too? Like, do they forget they're masking their voice? Like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Like, that'll be crazy, bro. I'm like, oh, this experience is ruined. All right, I can see the candle on your cake now. We have to fucking leave. So yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. No, pay your half of the bill. Pay your half of the bill. Can't have it both ways. That reminds me of like when like you get into an argument with one of them, and then you hit one, and then you guys go up to court because they're pressing charges, and they pull up to court in the dress. It's like, wait, where the fuck is the guy that I was fighting? Because clearly that's not you. Like, where the hell did you get a dress from, huh? like which one of your friends let you borrow that dress? Because that don't even look like your style. I saw the way you dress as a dude. No, you can't dress as a woman. So yeah, that was also the funniest thing because my bad, Scoobs, but Scooby used to dress so manly. White t-shirt, sweatpants. Not even cute white t-shirt, sweatpants. Baggy as hell, sweatpants. I'm gonna go catch a game. And then when we left school, and we all became adults in our own rite of passage. Now she wants to dress like a chick. Now she wants to wear these fitted dresses, and I'm like, bitch, where were you? Where were you when we were in school together? Damn it. But yeah, it's just funny. Like, we could just shoot at her now. No, she knows what she has now. Now the whole world knows. She has self-confidence. We started to sound so bad. But yeah, it's just funny like that. It's crazy world we live in. But yeah, no, tell your good homie, pay that bill. Over here, want to caring about one plastic. The nerve of you. The nerve. All right. Okay, this is a swatch question. I saw your watch. This one, ding. I'm not gonna do that, but yeah. Would you consider doing a body swap? Like my real body? You want me to have a watch body? Stainless steel? That turning you on? Let me stop. For the watches, it's called the swatch mod. I would do it if it didn't look or come off as corny. I would do it if it wasn't a lot of work. I would do it. But I don't trust people. And the work is meticulous. I don't know if I use that word correctly either. So this watch, they're doing swaps, right? So it's in a plastic casing, hence why it's light. That's why I like wearing it now. I feel the difference between this watch and my Apple Watch. This watch is way more lighter to wear. It's more fun. I forget that it's even on my wrist half the time. But it's plastic. It's good plastic, but it's plastic at the end of the day. So I get why people would do the mods because it's the guts of an Omega swatch. But it just reminds me of the Domas of the Zohan. It just reminds me of the Domas of the Zohan. Because it says Fushimi, but it's Sony guts. So that's basically what you're doing. You're getting a Fujimi, you're getting a Fujimi case and putting Sony internals into it. You're getting a Fujimi case and you're putting Sony internals into it. You're putting Sony guts into a Fujimi VCR. And the whole world's gonna be like, that's Fujimi. And it's like, but it has Sony guts. That's the same shit. It's like, all right, it's an Omega. No, it's not. It doesn't have the right links. It doesn't have this. It doesn't have that. It has the right timing. That's cool. But everything else is not official on it. So I was like, all right. And they're not expensive. It's between $200-$300 to do the mod. It's just, it comes down to the conversation. Same thing with the AP conversation. Like, oh my God, that Chrysler 300 looks like a Phantom. Yeah, it looks like a Phantom until a Phantom pulls up. And they're like, all right, no, I could tell the difference. That's a Chrysler 300. So you're amongst watch enthusiasts and they see your watch, like, oh my God, that's the Omega Speedmaster. Oh, good taste, swatch. Wait, that's not the original casing. That's not the original link band. That's not the original this. That's not the original that. you're gonna get looked at crazy, bro. And it's like, okay, not worth it. Not worth it at all. But I would do it just because it tickles my fancy. I've been saying that a lot. I know I can do it. Not as in me ship my watch out and somebody else could do it, because that's the part that I don't trust, is that me shipping this watch out so somebody else could do it. How do I know I'm getting my watch back? How do I know you're not taking something of value that's actually in the watch, keeping it, and sending me something else? That's the only issue I have where I wouldn't send it out. I would do it myself. I would like to do it myself because it actually looks fun to take this watch apart. It's like, all right, you have to do a lot of really careful steps without damaging it. And what I am not is careful. So that's why I'm like, I'm out of here. But you have to cut the case in half because it's all one piece. You have to remove the pieces, remove the glass, get into the next place. You have to remove the springs for the dials, take those out, replace it, create new dials, put them in. It's like, all right, it will kind of be, the closest I could think about it is changing rods in an engine, if that makes any sense to you guys. I'm like, you can't change rods in an engine. Shut up. But yeah, that's the closest it comes down to. It does look cool. It does look nice, but I don't think I would do it. Like, I don't think I would psych myself out to thinking that, hey, I have an Omega Speedmaster. This watch has been to the moon. As opposed to, yeah, I got a Fujimi watch with Sony guts. So, yeah. That's the only reason I probably wouldn't even consider doing it. But it does look fun to do. It looks like I will have fun. I will spend hours taking that apart and just having a blast doing that. All right. I'm going to get out of here. We're going to go to you know where. It's All right. Good people. Parlham Lover is a section where people like to fast forward to get to the messiness. This is where all the juicy stuff happens, and you get front row tickets to it. Well, front row tickets to me, and I say the situation. All right, Part-Time Love is a section where we give our relationship advice. Either you take it, don't take it, do whatever you want with the information. Don't even have to come back to listen to the information. Just watch the video, like, comment, share, subscribe. But yeah, it is a section where I tell you guys that I am not a licensed professional. I just play one on this show with one camera, one mic, and one ring light. Let's go and get into the first question.
The homies tell me I'm tripping. My homegirl said I can't buy my fuck buddy flowers just because.
Oh.
Like I got TM because I could, but she knows she's not online to be the next. She's not even the side, but she keeps telling me that me leading her on. What do you think?
That's what I think. So let me read it for you good people that couldn't hear Siri talk about it. So the homies tell me I'm tripping. My homegirl said I can't buy my fuck buddy flowers just because. You got the money? If not, all right. Like, I got to because I could, but she's not the one online to be next. She's not even the side. But my homie keeps telling me I'm leading her on. What do you think? Well, you are leading her on. What do girls call that? Love bombing.
Lord have.
That's what they call it. That's what they call it. Guys will be like, what is love bombing? Is when you use your finances for your best interests to woo this girl. Some of you guys didn't even know you were doing it. The biggest joke is a lot of you girls.
You're a victim.
And like, oh my God, he just likes buying things is his love language. No, that's his only language. So have I been guilty of love bombing? I think once or twice. Nothing too crazy. I just buy nice shit. And it seems like, good sir, that's what you be doing. Sometimes if you got it, why can't I just do it? That's the difference between a lot of people. Some people are like, oh, you shouldn't. I'll be like, no, you couldn't. I sit down and don't be mad at what I do because you couldn't. All right. If I want to spend $300, $400 on an arrangement on a girl that I'm not taking serious, I could do that. It's whatever. It's because I wanted to. Who the fuck gives a fuck what you guys care about? That's the other thing. Like, people put too much stock in caring on what other people think. It's the most craziest thing to me. It's like people forget, like, you could do whatever you like. If you got it like that, you could do it. I don't know why you need other people to tell you other things. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, why are you counting my pockets? I'm trying to think, like, all right, your friend said you're wilding. And I could get why they're saying, like, you're buying a girl that's just for this thing only a thing. All right, cool. Like, I could get that. But then it drops down to, like, but I could do that. I don't have to care to do it, but I could do it. There doesn't have to be feelings involved in this. So some people will call that tricking as well. I don't think it's tricking either. I think I saw something, I thought of you, I got it. That's about it. I think that's as far as that conversation really goes. I don't know where else you could take that conversation to. Like, oh no, he's just being a fool. He's just over here in her feelings, in her minds, trying to.
You cannot trick me.
You love that girl.
Cannot trick me.
You love that girl. You just don't want to tell us you love that girl. So yeah, the only person that should be mad in the situation is the girl. That's the only person, because she was like, oh my god, because she might be gassing herself up like, I think I'm about to get moved up in the ranks. I think I'm about to be the main one. I think I'm about to. That's her when she gets cut from the roster. Happens to the best of us. Happens to the best of us. All right, so I'm gonna move over to the next section.
Okay, let's go.
All right, see what I got.
Please tell this girl she's tripping. She's worried about the girls I've been with in my past. But I don't judge hers. We're grown and we've both been with other people. But she's giving me hell, and she came into this relationship with 2 kids. Help me help her.
I beg your pardon? That means her.
Fuck two and spit on that name.
Has to be good. Has to be. You're not gonna come. Let me just read it out loud for you good people. Please tell this girl she's tripping. She's worried about the girls I've been with in my past, but I don't judge hers. We're grown and we've both been with other people. But she's giving me hell and she comes into this relationship with 2 kids already. Help me help her. I'll help the both of y'all. Who the fuck are you to question my past relationships if you're coming with 2 receipts of your last relationships? You're coming with 2 children and you're over here talking about the girls I'm talking to? The nerve. Because you're making me look at the receipts of your previous relationships. That's wild. They carry that other person's DNA. They're looking right at me. They probably have his characteristics, his smile, his eye glimmer, something, hair. Come on. Like, that's wild. That's your first red flag right there. All right, look at that. We spotted it. Those are the aborted children. All right, so yeah. She's under the belief that wholeness can be deleted. For her, not you. She was like, oh my God, I got around and back in my day, but I don't want to hear nothing about back in your day. So that's the most craziest shit. My real question out of this whole situation that you're telling me is, are they a matching set? Because if they're a matching set, I could deal with it. It's when the kids are mixed matched. And then you're over here giving me shit. Are you fucking crazy? Like when the kids have 2 different baby daddies. That's like the most wildest thing to me. Like you can never talk to me about my past or the girls I used to talk to. Are you fucking crazy? Are you crazy? You couldn't even get bingo twice. You only got it once. You got bingoed. So yeah, that's wild to me. That's wild. But like, oh, stop bringing your past into this house. You stop bringing your past into this house. They come here every weekend. Yo, that's wild, bro. That's selfish. That's a red flag. You should really be paying attention. Really be paying attention. That's just the beginning of things to come. That's the most minimal argument that you're gonna have right now. Cause that's like, you used to talk to other bitches. Do you like that thing I do? I didn't learn that with you. I learned that with somebody before you, and I brought it to you. I presented to you like it was your own thing, but it really wasn't. There was 2 girls before you that I learned that with, and then she was like, "Oh my God, I really like that. You should continue doing that." And I took that play with me to other places. Just like I like the way you do that thing that you like. That's why the same way that I like the thing that you do. I know you didn't learn that with me. I know you weren't on YouTube. Like, wait, all right, so like this, like this, like this, like this. No, you learned that somewhere else. So it's like, okay, whatever. We're adults here. We are adults. We are adults. Like, we gotta like stop acting up sometimes. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. At the end of the day, you can see this is a red flag, and don't question her logic. All right. That's the last thing you should do is question her logic. All right. If you see 2 fools arguing down the street and you join into the conversation, you just drop from your level to their level. And because you drop down to their level and they decide to gang up against you, you're going to lose that too because they have experience being at that dumbass level. So, yeah. Good sir, do not, and I say do not continue engaging with this. Unless you truly love her and it's already too late and you're on the way to make the third kid. So, yeah. I don't know how else I could help you. Give me a second. Let me think. Yeah, no, I have nothing for you. So, we're going to add that section. Thank you for participating on Part-Time Lover. Hopefully, I was able to give you guys a hand in whatever situations that you guys have submitted to me. And I do wish you guys the best. Keep continuing to submit questions, and I'll continue to put them on the show and giving you the worst possible advice that I can. So this is we're out of here. No. We're here at the end of the show, and I just want to say thank you to everybody that's still here at the end. They made it this far. It still messes with the brand, still messes with the content, still messes with us. I fucks with y'all heavy. So this is for you guys. And I do want to say thank you. Seriously, thank you guys. Right now, I'm at this point where I'm trying to figure out if I want to start submitting my platform to award shows to see if I could get something more lucrative that's going to help me get a bigger deal at the end of this. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. And I don't know what to submit. I know where to submit it to. I just don't know what to submit, what parts to submit. So it's just a very interesting challenge that I'm coming up with right now. And to see all the people I'm going to be competing against, because I'm not competing against just small podcasters. I'm competing against big podcasters too. So it's not like I really see myself as there's a win situation here for me, but it'll be good enough to put my name in spaces where this show gets more recognition. So that's where I'm at right now. And I say all of this to lead this with shout out to you guys doing your thing. Shout out to you guys following your dream, doing your dream, setting goals, being a goal. Go. Shout out to you guys, man. I need you guys to know that if you fall, I need you to get your punk ass back up. The world does not stop. The world does not stop because you stumble or fall. All right. I need you guys to keep on going, keep on doing these things. And just know, if you lose right now, it's not the real loss. It's not a loss until the fat lady sings, all right? It's not a loss until it's definite and final, all right? So you can continue to keep on moving, keep on winning, keep doing your thing, all right? Do not let things stop you, deter you, do any of these things, all right? You can still be great out here. All right. Success does not have an age limit. Success does not have a stopping point. You can be successful at any point in your life. All right. Now, any way you become non-successful is if you don't try or if you stop. All right. And where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in that? All right. So I want you guys to keep doing what you're doing, keep moving, keep hustling. And thank you very much for your time. I am Jose Luis, a.k.a.
On my Cool J.
A.k.a.
Go back to your 9 to 5, bitch ass nigga.
A.k.a. A.k.a. Mr. Big. And I am out of here. Peace out, peace out, peace out, peace out, peace out, peace out, peace out.
Deuces.